Active weather coverage here on the Weather Network for the 5th day of November. And the gales of November living up to their reputation in many parts of the country. Look at Lake Erie, my goodness. Yeah, this was seen this morning. And we're going to have some strong winds today across the Great Lakes. There's multiple storm systems. We'll get you up to speed on the weather. The bomb cyclone, of course, across the East Coast. We got a couple of lows into BC that is bringing in some wet, windy weather. And the prairies going to get into some snow. But first of all, rain showers moving across Ontario today. About 5 to 10 millimeters worth of rain. The bigger story, I believe, is going to be the wind. And that could be 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. We've had southwest winds ahead of the cold front. Then that'll change to northwest winds. So I suspect some leaves will be coming down. You'll notice a drop in your temperature, especially as we get towards the weekend. So this is the kind of storm that's rain now. Could be some lake effect flurries tomorrow morning that'll remind you that it's probably getting ready to start making arrangements to get those winter tires on. Into Quebec, we got periods of rain showers also in your forecast, but our East Coast Storm Center, well, that continues right now. Okay, so this was a very powerful storm that brought winds in St. John's up to 109 kilometers per hour, but it was the duration of the winds. It has been very windy through yesterday afternoon, through last night. It's still very windy this morning. Some of the highlights or lowlights. How about a 9+ 10-meter waves? We had 50 millimeters of rain in Sydney, St. Lawrence, nearly a 3-foot storm surge, and wind gusts in Sagona Island and Cape Race, 155 to 160 kilometers per hour. So there is our powerful storm. It's now moving its way north of Newfoundland. So that is now bringing in the winds out of the opposite direction. So northwesterly winds today, still quite strong, gradually easing by this evening. And tomorrow morning we get a bit of a break, but it is a small break because we got another storm system coming in. Now this will bring predominantly rain into southern New Brunswick, possibly a bit of mixing as well. Heavier rain for the HRM possible. And then through Thursday, that starts to move its way towards Newfoundland with rain and even mixing with some snow as well. And this will have some strong winds. Not as strong as what you've been dealing with, but still 70 to 90 kilometer per hour, especially for coastal areas. So good shot of rain. Also the risk of snow, especially, well, we've seen that over western Newfoundland, but it'll be eastern Newfoundland's turn as well, and gusty winds. All right, let's go to the west coast, where a bluebird sky in November is pretty rare, isn't it? Because November, after all, is typically the wettest month in British Columbia, especially in coastal areas. And the rain has returned, and so has the mountain snow. Now, we are in a tide cycle right now where it is unusually high water levels. So we have a coastal flooding statement for significant wind and waves during high tide for much of West Vancouver Island, Greater Victoria, and up towards Campbell River. So that's this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, coinciding with high tide. And these storm systems, along with bringing the wind, relentless onshore flow. So lots of rain, mountain snows. You'll start to settle down through Friday afternoon and Friday evening. So the next 48 hours, it's going to be wet and windy at times, and you could be looking at up to 100 millimeters of rain in some local sections in Howe Sound, Sunshine Coast, certainly West Vancouver Island. All right, let's go east of the Rockies into the prairies, and you too have a couple of clippers moving in. Number one this evening, and tonight, Grand Prairie to Edmonton, Saskatoon and the Battlefords, likely Yorkton to the Parklands in Manitoba. That's likely going to be some accumulating snow. Then that eases off, and the second one comes in Friday night, tracking a little further south, perhaps towards Red Deer and the Cypress Hills. So we could see 5 to 10 centimeters locally for clipper number one tonight and tomorrow, and then clipper number two a little further south. Now, Calgary, I think you're going to miss out on this. I think you're going to be a little too warm. Across the north, colder air has invaded the Northwest Territories and Nunavut border. And speaking of colder air, I mentioned the winter tires thing. We're going to be getting into some chillier temperatures in eastern Canada, while Calgary looking pretty good for the next number of days. Ottawa, by way of comparison, I think you've got some flurries in your forecast.